Hey guys, welcome to the Goob U podcast. This is Goob John Dorsey and Ross Flannigan. IFBB Pro Ross Flannigan. He got really upset with me last time that I didn't introduce him as IFBB Pro Ross Flannigan. So you know what? This time, is this good enough, Ross? Is that okay?
Why don't you introduce me how you did the last two times?
Okay, this is second place 2020 USA's IFBB Pro Ross Flannigan lost to Jonathan Withers. Is that the introduction that you wanted?
That's the legal name on my driver's license.
It's what he craves. We just had a debacle with our mics. So we both had the same mic here, and there's a gain button on the back of it, which is volume. And I had to figure out through trial and error that Ross was never adjusting the volume. He was just clicking the volume slider on his MacBook, and nothing was happening.
It does the same fucking thing.
It doesn't.
It does the same thing.
Okay, so if any of you guys couldn't hear Ross last time, we've solved the issue. Hopefully it's better now. I don't know. I could hear him last time, but whatever. But you couldn't see me last time, so whatever. We're getting through it. What's been going on, Ross?
Gallery now? Are we good? Are we recording split screen here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a gallery.
Okay.
I can see you, you can see me, whatever. I got my Matt Porter approved t-shirt on. I don't know if you guys fuck with any of his shit, but he's known for Vasoburn. People love that shit. I've never used it personally, but what is it, like Yohimbe HCl or something? I don't know, some bullshit.
Topical.
Apparently it works. I don't know. I can't say one thing or another. But Isopoofs, it's a cereal that has the same macros as a protein powder. It's fucking delicious. There's a French toast one, which actually has flavor, and then there's like an apple crisp bullshit. It tastes like nothing, so I wouldn't recommend buying that one. They just came out with the chocolate one that I saw. I don't know if it's any good because I haven't tried it, but I just ordered 4 fucking bags of the French toast because I forgot it existed. And then I'm scrolling through, you know, they get you with an ad, and I'm like, MPA, fuck. Isopoofs, I forgot that existed. And I was like, damn, I bet it doesn't even exist anymore. I go to their website, it's like 20% off or some bullshit, so...
Yeah, they should do a better job marketing that because it's a great product. I have not tasted it, but if the reviews and everything hold up, like everyone should be fucking eating it.
Literally. The reason I thought about it, it jogged my memory because I was in the grocery store and it's like Kellogg's or Post or somebody has a fucking cereal now that's a protein cereal, but they it's like wheat protein and like fucking soy protein and
like those fucking Kodiak cakes.
Yeah, it's like that. It's not a whey isolate, which is Isopoofs. If I'm not mistaken, they're a whey isolate, which is why they call them Isopoofs. It's pretty sick. The flavor's there. It does it for me. Comes in a big ass bag it's like $40. This is rich people food. Nobody needs it.
Or you could just be a typical Haze person and eat regular cereal, you asshole.
I mean, I have a lot of fucking Reese's Puffs up there, but none of them will probably get me to my goals faster than an Isopoof. I don't know. Anyway, Ross has turned off his mic now because he is chewing his meal that he promised me he would finish before we started recording.
I'm the slowest eater in the world, dude.
Just let's hear the chews. That's fine. I really can't hear it that well. Maybe they can. We'll figure it out later.
I don't want to.
Ross, shut the fuck up! I can hear you fucking chewing. It's so disgusting.
So today we're talking about red flags, but we're not just talking about red flags of clients. We're talking about coaches too. So we're gonna give you both sides. We're gonna talk a little about what we've experienced being Ross coaches people, I coach people. Things that we see where we run the other way, or things that we see where we're like, no, I'm not going to participate in that. And then we're going to actually help you and talk about things that you should look out for when you're giving your hard-earned fucking money to somebody else to run your diet and supplement protocol and cardio and peak you for a show or whatever the fuck your goals are. Ross, one thing I wanted to start this with, talk about both of us. The fastest you've ever fired a client and why?
Fuck.
I have a few of these, by the way. I don't know which is the fastest.
Yeah, you sent me one of them the other day.
Yeah.
I want to say definitely same day. Anytime that someone tries to like I want to say this guy was from like Australia, and he wanted basically to justify everything he was doing.
A yes man.
Yeah, no, like he wanted a coach to justify everything he was doing. Hey, can we do this? This is what I'd like to do. I'm like, you don't. Why did you hire me?
I've had guys like that before where they don't want you to write anything. They just want to run it by you and say,
Yeah,
looks good. And it's like, no, because I would have told you to do something different. So what did you do? You just gave him his money back or what?
yeah, I gave him a full refund, and and definitely if you have like 10 clients, you're going to be a lot less likely to refund people because you have more time. But if you have 100 people, like, dude, do not have time to play
Not
these
me,
fucking
bro.
21 questions, these games, these psychological warfare. Do the fucking diet. Like that's why you hired me.
When I
So
started, I made this agreement with myself that I'd never be afraid to get rid of somebody. I could be fucking applying for EBT and scraping the barrel. If somebody didn't work for me, I wouldn't take them because I didn't want to make my life stressful for this job. And I was like, if I'm working for myself, I'm working for myself. I'm not going to take shit from somebody or put myself in a bad position. If I had 10 people and 5 of them hired me that week and were shitbags, I would get rid of them. I turned down a lot of people and I've sent a lot of refunds for reasons. And sometimes it's out of like, I want to help them where you realize there's no fit and we're not going to get along and you're not going to
yeah,
listen to me.
yep,
Um, it's like you have to have like this level of respect for the person, and sometimes they show that they don't have that immediately. They don't trust you. You know, it's trust and respect. You're going to ask the top 10 Olympians, what did you do to get here? They all did something different, but the person they listened to them solely, and they respected their opinion to where they
and
actually did it.
I mentioned this the last time we spoke. Sometimes it just comes down to like a boyfriend and girlfriend type of relationship. People get broken up all the time. That doesn't mean the one person is bad. It just means that they didn't click. So
Yeah,
like I may communicate with you differently than the way you like to receive communication.
yeah.
That could be it.
You have to speak their language. There's a couple coaches I know of that I will send people to sometimes, and there's one guy I don't want to say his name, but he speaks some of the like sometimes I get like the more neurotic ones that I can't handle because I'm just gonna fucking snap. He speaks their language. I don't know how, but I've seen him do amazing things with these people that to me were uncoachable. So sometimes it's just we're not gonna get along. Am I gonna make $200 a month and steal from you when I can through experience recognize this is going to work, or do I send you to somebody where I know you're going to thrive? And for me, I'd rather make $200 less and see you thrive than take your $200 and me be miserable and you go nowhere. The only person that wins there is, well, nobody, because for me $200 is not worth misery, and for you you're just going to spin your fucking wheels. So I had a guy who hired me, and I'm not even exaggerating, it was I copied the email. I didn't read it. The intro email he sent me. I have a form,
Just a 4-page one.
I have a form where I ask everything I need, and then I usually follow up, and I try to get on a call or maybe a couple questions if there's more that I need, and we get into it a little more there. But he sends me an email, and I copy paste it, and I put it into Word only because I needed to know how many fucking words were in this thing. It was like 4,000 fucking words. And none of it was relevant to anything. He was talking about his childhood and shit. It's just skimming. I'm like, this is. It was like he grabbed a college paper and sent it to me and made it slightly irrelevant about me being his coach. I don't know. And I was like, there's no way I can fucking do this. This is not worth $200 a month to read this once, let alone this guy's check-ins are going to be like this. This is a guy looking for a therapist. And so I immediately, I was like, hey man, this isn't going to work. I kind of felt bad because he sent me 4,000 words and I sent him, hey man, this isn't going to work. I sent you a refund 12 words. But that was that. I didn't really recommend him to anybody because I didn't want to burn any of my own bridges. Sending some. He needed, he needs a therapist, which
It's
some
like the
people.
people that need like face-to-face consults or calls. I'm like, your goals are either to lose fat or to gain muscle. You're either fat and you need to lose fat, or you're small and you want to gain weight or gain muscle. That's it. End of
That's my
conversation.
least favorite question. Some guy. I like him. I really like him, and he speaks my language, and I can be the coach I need to be for him. But he goes, so when can we get on a FaceTime call? And I said, ideally never. If you have a question, just text it to me or email. And he goes, LOL, okay, that makes sense. Sometimes
the only time that would happen is like, hey, dude, I like injected this shit and now it's swelling. I need you to look at this.
Will Pirelli, hey, I just took 375 micrograms of T3. What do I do? I told you about that, right? But yeah, and it's not that I don't want to talk to the people that pay me, but a lot of the times, in the haste of communication and in the interest of brevity, these problems aren't as big as it is in their head. And if they write it down, they're like, oh, well, I could have texted that. I didn't need to call. Sometimes people will call you with real stuff. But honestly, from my perspective, is doing this for a while, usually when they call you, it's a personal problem. And that's fine sometimes, whatever. I'll take personal calls every now and again, but usually it's nowhere related to training, supplementation, diet, any of that shit.
You know what I like? I found as a nice middle ground, sending voice texts. I know you love them.
I hate when you send me voice texts, Ross. He sends me like 8 at once. Oh my God.
Well, it gets through all the bullshit. I'm like, if you have it, I'm going to send you some voice text. It's just going to be exactly what I need you to know. There's not going to be, hey man, how's it going? Oh, just, mowing the lawn. Yeah, it's sunny outside, yeah, Like yesterday I spent 20 minutes on the phone call with a potential customer and I didn't say anything. All I said was, okay, cool. Yeah.
That kills me. I hate like false communication or things that it's like, what am I doing? What do we hear? My friend Max, he will send me voice text. It'll be 5 seconds long, and that's like maybe 8 is a long one for him. And it'll usually be, hey, I'm gonna be here. You want to go? Or hey, I'm here right now. Do you want to hang out? It's never like a fucking story or anything. One of my favorite guys I coach is like very long-winded, and I've like over time sort of like helped him by forcing brevity upon him. Like he would send me these like 4-minute messages sometimes, and I'd be like, man, everything you said could have been explained in about 5 seconds there, or you could have typed it out. And he does that now, and honestly, it's better for everybody because I don't know, I don't have the fucking attention span to listen to 4 minutes about something that happened at Thanksgiving that isn't even relevant to what the fuck's going on. It's just, I don't know, it's too much. Some people just
while you're on the phone with me, can I tell you what the voicemail said? The voice messages said.
To who?
To you.
No, I don't want to hear it ever. Actually,
you don't want to hear it.
Are you going to tell me or play the voice message?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay, you can do that. I thought you were going to play the voice message, and I was going to hang out. And that was the end of the fucking podcast.
Okay. So I don't know what it is about like dieting or fitness or anything with the human body. People just don't know how to think. Like as soon as you say one thing, it's just like, ugh. So I have this one client who he's good client, but sometimes he says some dumb stuff. And if you're watching, Mr. So-and-so,
say his name, say it.
Cam, if you're watching,
I can.
You're stupid for this one. So I was updating his leg program. Okay. And it said squats. And then in parentheses, it said hack / front / back and parentheses. Okay. So he goes, I don't have a hack squat machine.
So do a front or a back squat.
Yep. So I said, read it again. He goes, I don't know what you want to do. I don't have a hack squat machine. So I go to Google and type, what does / marks between words mean?
It means
okay. It literally says / marks between words indicate options. And I said, motherfucker, if you went to Pizza Hut and it said pizza, it said toppings, pepperoni / onions / bacon, are you going to go to the cashier and go, what the fuck do I do? What does pizza / bacon / onions mean? But when it comes to the body, holy fuck, what is a hack squat / front squat / back squat? Do you want me to do them all at the same time?
So, Sometimes this helplessness comes from they don't understand why they're small and weak in the gym. They don't understand why. And it has to be in some small nuance of what we're writing out. It has to be that. It can't just be that their intensity that they're bringing to the gym is 0. It can't be that. It has to be there's the fucking secret sauce here somewhere in the pro. It has to be whatever this slash thing is. If I figure it out, I'm gonna have big fucking legs, and it's not that. It's if it was anything else, it was Pizza Hut. You wouldn't think twice about it. But they have this lens that they put on where they're like,
Yes.
fuck, I know I'm fucking up. Let's see this slash that, and then they have to ask question after question.
It happens all the time at the bakery. They're like, put these lenses on, like you said, that like change everything.
Yeah. What is in a broccoli salad?
What's in the beef and broccoli?
Beef and broccoli. I would say
so there's no green beans in it? No, there's broccoli in it.
absolutely zero green beans, only beef and broccoli. This is Milo making his cameo
This is
appearance.
the lesbian dog. Anyone listening, his dogs look like lesbians, don't they?
It's fine. He's got a no. He looks like he's got the Karen haircut. He's completely blind, and he doesn't have an eye on this side, and this side is not worth shit, so he can't.
Oh, so he's like wearing a patch.
Yeah, he just bumps around the house and does whatever the fuck. He doesn't care. So let's talk about we just dunked on clients for probably 20 minutes now. Let's talk about the other side of the spectrum, something that's actually helpful to people. There's a ton of there's a ton of coaches, a ton of money to go around, and there's so many like hucksters and fucking highwaymen, the highwaymen of the industry that will get a couple people, get them bad, and send them off to the next coach, and bad stuff happens. Blue Taylor has the best fucking phrase. You know what I'm about to say? Blue Taylor's catchphrase. What is it?
Well, I only know one off the top of my head.
What is it?
The scones.
No. Look at the resume. He always says, look at the resume. He posts, he's got this crazy photo of like fucking 7,000 people he transformed. It's literally like a collage with everybody's transformation, and it's his logo. I think it's his logo, or maybe a picture of him or something. But it's everybody he's ever worked with. This massive collage. And he's talking about, I don't care what your certification is. I don't care where you went or what you do or what you look like. He cares what did they produce. And I think that's the biggest beacon of light that you can use as a client looking for somebody as a coach. And Ross pointed out a nuance in this when we were talking about filming the show. He was talking about look for the coach that is transforming nobodies. What do you mean by that, Ross? Nobodies.
Okay, so like, not to disrespect any of my clients, but I coach no one. I coach nobodies. I coach regular people that have, big goals, just regular people, middle-aged dudes, kids in their 20s and 30s that have no like above average genetics. They just want to work hard, put some muscle on, lose some fat. If you can make, what's the phrase? Make something out of shit, whatever, something like that.
Are you saying shit from Shinola? Because that doesn't mean what you think it means.
No, like turning lemonade from water, whatever. You know what I'm fucking talking about.
I'm not going to help you here. I want to watch you struggle.
Oh my God. you can make cake out of shit.
Wow, you can make a shit cake. So you're saying your clientele, what you do is like making shit cakes. Is that correct?
Cow pies, yep.
Cow pies. Wow, amazing.
Okay, so we see a lot of these big name coaches post people that are like fucking freaks that you could feed them anything or nothing, or they'll wake up and they'll be gaining muscle and losing fat just because they're genetics. So that's like really cool and flashy and exciting, but oftentimes they don't really post like the dudes that wouldn't turn heads.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like there's coaches' favorite coaches, and there's guys I know of where it's like you go to their wall and they'll post a freak every now and again, but they take fucking dumpster fire genetic people and they're a coach. They take somebody that doesn't have the potential and they force the fucking potential on them, which I think that's the skill. That's a skill set. And sometimes you got a guy that is that and then starts working with freaks, and he's he gets a fucking Matt Jansen type of stuff where it's like he's great at it and also gets cream of the crop. So his guys are fucking amazing. But it's not like, before he was ever bad. It's like he was working his way up the ranks with people that weren't so good and turning them really good. It's something.
I'm not going to name any names, but usually the coaches that only show their like Blue Taylor said, show me the resume. Usually the people that are getting fucked are the ones that don't have any potential.
Yeah,
Because
because
they're
there's
getting
more of
scammed.
them. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the con. And usually it's like, damn, me and you, we know what the fucking game is. We know who's out there. We know what's out there. A lot of these people, they get on Instagram. They're following a few people that are in the industry, and there's the arrows point to 4 or 5 people tops. We know all the options. We've fucking been here. We know most all of the options. There's definitely people we don't know of yet, but we know pretty much all of the names that you're gonna run the circuit for. We've shared clients before. We've had clients from other coaches, and there's like maybe 25 guys that everybody goes to. But somebody coming into this sphere, there's a guy at their gym that competed once that's asking for $200 a month to whatever. And he's going to text them whatever and sell them bathtub brew steroids and totally fuck them because he just saw $200.
Dude, okay, so I got two things to say, but first one is I ranted on this last year and it made a couple people upset, so I'm going to say it again. People go to local coaches just because they're local coaches, and I don't understand that. Now, if you're a local coach, that doesn't mean you're shitty. But what I'm saying is there's so many people that just go to a coach down the road because they're down the road, no matter if they're fucking good or not. So without any research. Oh, he's down the road. He coaches 13 other people that I know. Okay.
And it's usually like a squad of turds.
Yeah.
A guy that I can think of that's not like that kind of would be described as like a local coach, Morgan Rice. He has a fuck ton of great local athletes. He's taken people that weren't super competitive and made them really fucking competitive, and they're almost all in his hometown. They're almost all Pittsburgh guys. I pose a lot of them.
He's a great coach. He just happens to be local.
Literally, yeah, he's one of the. It's not too common. It's usually if they're a pretty good coach, they're a big online presence. Most of their guys don't live near them, but he's like, I get all of his guys for posing, and it's like they're all 412 numbers. They're all Pittsburgh. It kind of blows my mind how he gets all these guys near him that are good and makes them good. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So when I chose Dom Cardone, I've been with him 3 years. It was based on 3 things. One of them, he prioritized health, so I like that. 2, all of his clients were consistent. They like all looked the same. And 3, he was getting dudes shredded that had no business being up there. Like it looked incredible. And I'm like, you look like just an average looking bodybuilder, but you're winning classes
just for being in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He gets him conditioned, and that's the job. That is the fucking job. Get you in shape, especially for contest prep. Which another thing we were talking about, red flags for coaches. If they're super willing to take, this is something that happens. People come to Ross for this. People come to me for this. Anybody who's a coach, you got this type of client that shows up, and they're like ripe for the picking to be ripped off. Usually, they come to you. Hey man, I'm 8 weeks out from Krispy Kreme Classic. I need a coach. I realized I can't do this on my own. I'm going to hire you. The right thing to do, and what you should look out for, is they say, hey, send me this is what I say. Send me pictures. I'm happy to take you if you're going to be ready. But more than likely, we're going to pick a later show and do this the right way. If you're okay with that, send it away. If not, I'm not interested in doing it. Sometimes you get a guy that is totally ready and he lacks confidence. And he's like, land the plane. He's totally good. He'll probably be fine on his own, but he wants to pay you for a second eye. Land the fucking plane. Do it the right way. And that's okay. I think that's okay to take over those preps. You've done it, Ross. I've done it. Sometimes it works. Usually it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But then there's other guys where they have no... I posted a screenshot. Somebody wanted to hire me for posing. $250 he wanted to pay me. And he sent me pictures of him. And there's no fucking chance that it was like maybe 10 weeks or something. There's no fucking chance unless he, got abducted into a fucking internment camp and they put him on a treadmill from now till then and stuffed Finaplex tablets up his ass. There's no way he would have been anywhere remotely ready. And I was like, hey man, I really don't want to take your money because this isn't going to work for you. This isn't, no. And he was like, okay, it's fine. I never heard from him again. I don't know if he did the show. I hope he didn't. But everybody else was telling him to do it. And I felt maybe I should say something. What do you think, Russ?
What do you think you should have done?
What the 4, 6, 8 week out? Anybody ever asked you for that? I'm sure they have.
Yeah, but sometimes I'll either redirect them to someone that has like more experience doing like what do we call it? Hail Mary preps, or what's the shotgun prep?
Shotgun prep.
Shotgun prep. They can work, but so like for Logan Goody Beats, we did a shotgun prep and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
But we got him like lines in his glutes in 14 days from nothing. But it was so absurdly unrealistic for a prep. I think he was doing 3 1-hour cardio sessions, eating no food.
Yeah.
And it was
And
not
at that level, sometimes you got to say, hey, man, the suffering here is not worth whatever you're going to get out of it.
dude, at the top of the diet plan, I said, this is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
I would have told him, fuck off.
New show. Okay, anyway, so we're going to talk about red flags from our line or the clients, because there's still more to cover here.
Well, we had everybody's seen this huckster, the guy who's posting on his Instagram about how he's got 3 spots left.
Oh yeah,
Always 3. It says 3 spots, perpetually 3 spots. I know a guy that does this all the fucking time, has no fucking clients. He did one of those, what is it, summer shredding? We'll talk about that in a minute. It's like a summer shredding thing, and it won it for literally being like the guy that was a fat guy and then was like a less fat guy, whatever that, the transformation. And he's always posting, I was the best less fat guy. I got 3 fucking spots left. Did you guys want to join the ranks here as a less fat guy? And nobody ever takes him up on it, because the second red flag, his whole fucking profile is just pictures of him. Go ahead.
Resume, we covered that. I think asking people around, a lot of people like.
Well, let me back you up, because resume sometimes is bad. Like be willing and able to evaluate what you're actually looking at. How many fucking coaches do you know of? There's one in particular that I canceled that will post their shit up, and they'll have a picture of them in front of the stage flyer, whatever the fuck it is, with the client that got blown the fuck out. Or they're like, oh, 4th place today in bikini novice, true novice, super novice, champion novice, winner novice, D. And there were only 4 girls in the class.
Manipulating the reality, yeah.
Yeah, guys, www.npcnewsonline.com. You go and you type the show name in, and you click it, and you click the current year, and then you scroll down, and you go look. If you're looking at a coach, and they're bragging about a placing, and it's in the top 5, and the guy doesn't look particularly great, or the girl doesn't look particularly great, go look and see what they're truly bragging about. There's one, dumbbells and donuts or some bullshit. I called her out and like started a whole bunch of shit with her thing, because she was posting placings that were last fucking place and bragging about it. She was like, took 4 girls there, all in the top 5. It wasn't fucking humanly possible, unless you entered more people into the show, to be out of the top 5. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? And that's a con man. Yep. They're marketing to somebody that is the demographic we first described. You just got on the scene, you don't know of too many fucking coaches, and you certainly have never been to a show. So you don't know what the fuck this is. And someone's going to steal your money. Guess how much she charged a month?
$350, right?
$350. How much you charge, Ross?
Anywhere from like 3 to 2.
Why did you say it backwards?
Because 300 for monthly, or 200 per month. They do like 6 months.
Yeah, I'm at 2 to 250, 200 for regular and 250 for prep usually. And this girl has an abysmal resume and was charging $350. I think actually since I started all the shit with her, she stepped down and has girls underneath of her that do the coaching, and she doesn't do any of it anymore, which is phenomenal. That's okay with me.
Man, this is actually, I know it's a side topic, but your post today about the bargain hunting.
Oh yeah, we can talk about it for sure.
Like,
let me read the post. Let me pull it up here. All right. So I said bodybuilding is not a sport to bargain hunt in. Posing helps expensive. You're paying for the look, the expertise, the criticism. Competition coaching is expensive. You're paying for execution, the eye, the plan, the assurance. Some of the top guys in the game have to charge big money in order to keep a roster small enough to turn on amazing stage athletes and have the level of detail required to succeed. I see people not hiring a posing coach for money reasons, doing their own tan, having their buddy coach them, or you didn't get a hotel and you decided to drive to the venue the day of to save some money. And the bottom line is, it's not worth it. Pay the premium.
Yep.
Let it rip, Ross. What do you think?
Man, well, I can go a couple different angles. So like at my stage, I want to be the best I can be. 5 years ago, the best I could be is not really that good though. So like, do I need to have a top level coach when it's my first 1 to 3 years in here?
No, you'll get ignored because they got to subsidize their top guys, and that makes perfect fucking sense. You got to climb the ranks. It makes sense to me.
So that's the coaching expense side. But even if it's my first 1 to 3 shows, I still recommend spending the money, getting a proper tan, getting a hotel that's no stress, posing help, because I really enjoy doing like first year prep people, their first show, because so many people have horrible experiences with their first shows. Either they don't know how to, they don't get the right diet, their coach was an idiot, their peak week was a fucking Google thing. And I really enjoy just cutting to the bullshit. Like, our goal for your first show is for you not to look like a fucking idiot. That's the only goal. Because people will show up on stage looking like an idiot. And everyone in the stands will be saying, look at that idiot.
Yeah. Who coached them is their second question.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like, we're talking about the tan. People do that all the time. There was a girl that goes to the gym with me. She wanted me to coach her. I fired her because it's just me. She's asking all these weird questions about, I don't know. It's a longer story than that. But I was like, no, I can't do this. Sorry, give me your money back. But she goes, oh, I got this really great deal on a tan. And I'm thinking, like, Olympia Tan is not giving anybody a deal. You're paying in cash, the same amount everybody else is paying, and they're fucking spraying you down. And she's telling me, oh, no, I'm going to get my friend to do it, and it was $60 for 3 coats. And I think I'm going to do one tomorrow, or some bullshit like that. And I was like, no. What if they do a great job, Ross? What's the problem? They execute the tan. Her tan looks pretty good, and it's dark enough. What's the problem when she goes and stands on stage next to 5-6 other girls?
Well, it's going to be a different color.
Different fucking color. Say they nailed it. Your color is probably not going to match them unless they use the same product, which if it's a boutique tanning salon, they probably don't have fucking Pro Tan in the back. They're thinking, is that an insulin? They're thinking that you're going to be doing a fucking photo shoot or something, so they're not going to make it Oompa Loompa orange. It's just not going to work out. It doesn't work that way. I tried to explain this to her. And I hope she listened. I don't know.
Are those sirens in New York City?
There's always sirens. I live in the city.
Okay, so red flags for your clients. What are the? Give me like 3.
Like, they hire you in red flags?
Yeah.
Oh, I always go and I look into like their social media and stuff. One girl hired me, and like I go and I look at her stuff, and everything she posts about is intuitive eating, health at every size, blah 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 blah, all this fucking crazy shit. And literally my first question was, how did you see anything I've ever said and decide that you wanted to actually give me money? Like, I'm your worst enemy at this point, and she hired me. And I was like, no, this isn't it. So look at their social media interactions, and then I look at the level of effort and detail they put into their photographs. So did they clear out a spot to go take head-to-toe photographs?
Or do they snap them on their way out to the work?
Is it a fucking mirror selfie? Whatever. And then the level of detail they went to in their questionnaire. I always ask them, if they're running something or not, blood work. Their response to that. Sometimes, I can't do that. I have blood work. Okay, it's from 2017. All right,
and it's just a CMP panel.
Yeah, okay. I have a bank statement from 2017, but that doesn't mean fucking anything to me right now, does it? No, nobody cares what that says. 2017. Look, there's money in there. I could be broke today. Doesn't help me at all. So that's a big one. Just like overt neediness, where they have to tell you I just took a poop. I just did this. I just did that. Is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? We're eating the same shit in just different quantities for more or less for weeks and months at a time. It's how this game goes. Consistency. Hey, I'm at the grocery store. Do you think we're getting anything different this week?
Ostrich.
Nope. You're not. Yeah, get some ostrich eggs.
Dude, can I go back to the blood work thing?
Please.
This is one of the things I was going to rant on every single time. Not every single time, but 50% of the time. So I make all my clients get blood work, all of them. Don't care who you are. Because regardless if you work out with me, you still need to know what the fuck's going on with your body, regardless.
Yeah, kind of a good thing to do.
I cannot stand when they update me every single thing on the process. So this task is get your blood work, use this, and order this.
Wait. I just booked it. I'm leaving the house. I got it drawn today. It'll be here in 3 days. Oh, here's my blood work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never fucking respond. Why do I need to know that you're on the way to the doctor's office, dude?
Oh, we all do it. Everybody does it.
All the time.
Everybody. I don't understand why. I mean, I get it.
I don't get it.
For me,
give me the blood work when it's in.
I like attention to detail in the things that really matter. Like anybody who's coached anybody that has ever asked for a video of a lift has dealt with this. The fucking Blair Witch angles where you're like, all right, film a squat. All right, what do you think? I don't fucking know. I didn't see anything at all. What do you mean? People that put time into it, and usually all it means, if you send me that video, all it means is you recorded the shit and you didn't watch it yourself, which is what I'm trying to force you to do. I want you to, my biggest tool for me ever getting any amount of strong was filming shit I did and reviewing it my own self.
Oh my God, there's so many rants here, dude.
Do you do this?
Yes. Well,
I know you do this.
This is what people don't. This is what people don't do.
Yeah.
They record it and they don't review it.
Send it.
They post it online, like the guy who you did with the sumo squats. Remember that guy?
Sumo squat.
It was 2 weeks ago. Tall dude was doing 315 sumo squats, and the bar wasn't touching the ground, nor was it going up.
Oh, deadlifts.
Yeah, sumo deadlifts.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, dude, you recorded it, you watched it, you posted it, and you thought that was good. I don't understand. One thing for me is when I know you get this too. When people are way too motivated.
Oh, what's like a fake motivation? I'm going to be your best client. Yeah.
I'm willing to do anything. I will give it 150%.
Or they'll make a comparison. They'll be like, yeah, I used to do totally fucking irrelevant, extraneous ass hobby that means nothing or career. That means I used to be the CEO of Dexacorp. It's like, did you get on stage at Dexacorp? You probably fucking didn't, man. It doesn't fucking matter.
Is a lot in the armed forces. Like, hey, I used to be in the armed forces, or I used to be in the Marines or Navy, so I'm really good at all this structure. No.
That'll go both ways for me. For me, the surprise standouts that I would have never thought was the demographic that absolutely fucking murdered it are 18 to 19-year-old kids that have nothing else to fucking do. I get those, and Morgan Rice gets a lot of those too. He's got a kid named Ty that is it's like he's fucking programmed in the head just to, what the fuck does he want to do? He was talking to me about how, hey, I don't really know what to do for New Year's Eve. I don't really want to go out and drink or do it. I'm like, bro, go hang out with your friends, man. He just focus on the bodybuilding. You get some kids in that pocket of life that are just savages and they turn into really great bodybuilders. Most of them don't, but if you have somebody that's a huge standout, I've noticed they're usually not towards the end of their 20s. They're usually in that 21 and before, maybe not as early as 17, but 18 sometimes. And they've saved up their fucking allowance and milk money to hire you. And they've been thinking about hiring you only for 2 years now. And they're fucking ready to do it, and they're not going to waste any time or anything. Yep. They'll send you 5 videos a day of them in the gym. They'll fucking ask you only relevant questions. They'll respect the fuck out of your time. And every single week when they check in, you're like, wow, you made a leap forward. And then you string 52 of those together, and you got a kid that's just good. A kid, John Lee, an Asian kid. I just posted him on my Instagram. Fucking crazy. 52 weeks go by. He looks like a whole different person. Like he ate his old self. In his fucking dorm room doing this shit. Everybody else, I'm in the dorm room, so what can I eat at the chow hall? John Lee don't give a fuck. John Lee buys a fucking hot plate. He doesn't care. He don't play these fucking games. He didn't play any games, actually. Kid's got crazy legs. He knows his back. John Lee, you're watching this. Your back's got to come up. But that'll be in the future, but it's fine. It's getting better. It's getting better. He just actually texted me while we're here now. John Lee, guess what John Lee just texted me, guys? What did he text me? Relevant to something we were just talking about.
I don't know.
I told him, like maybe 8 days ago, hey, make sure you get your blood work in the next 2 weeks. I never got it drawn. I'm waiting. I'm on the toilet right now. Bloods came back quick. Took it Monday morning fasted. Attached as the PDF.
That's what you need to do.
That's my man. That's my fucking man.
That's all you need to do. I feel like clients need to take a course, a 60-minute course on
how to be a client.
Talk to your coach. Because so I always say this. If you're a client, you have one coach. Your coach has 50 clients.
Yeah.
So think of that perspective. Their job is not to babysit you. You have to babysit yourself with that coach. So last flag, and I know you know this, is clients that talk shit, or prospective clients that talk shit on previous coaches.
Oh yeah, I usually send money back right then, because say it's true, say it's not true. It's just it gets a bad look, because usually I know how this goes. If you're talking shit about somebody that's super well known or whatever, it's like, well, I see what's gonna happen if our relationship ever sours, and I just don't want. It's like, you're on a date with a girl, and you sit down, and the apps haven't even arrived, and she's telling you,
about their exes.
My boyfriend has small pee-pee, and he never did anything for me. And you're like, damn, you dated him though. You picked him. You dated him, and you're talking about him right now.
Every experience I have with that, I am no longer coaching that client.
Yeah, I send money back for that almost exclusively. Usually it's like a whoop. All right, let's see what else there is, and if there's ever another problem, I'm like, nah, I'm out. I deal with that a lot. I don't want to hear anything, let's just assume that you guys didn't work out together and that they knew what they were doing and you tried, but it just wasn't clicking, and go from there. Sure, we just talked a whole lot of shit about coaches that don't know what the fuck they're doing, but if you're giving a name that I recognize, they probably have some wins and some success, and there are people that they do get along with that are hard workers that make it out. If it's some guy in your gym that sold you some trenbolone or something, go ahead, talk shit about him. But, don't. The industry's this fucking big. It seems super huge or whatever, but I'm a fucking nobody. Ross is a nobody. This is not that big of an industry, and we know everybody, and we're nobodies.
I've got one more story, and then we can switch topics. So Please. I had this guy get coached by two Olympians. Okay. Chris Cormier and Flex Wheeler.
Interesting. Okay. Recently?
This was about 3 years ago. I was still in New Braunfels, but about 3 years ago. Hires me, him and his wife hire me, and he immediately talked shit about Chris Cormier and Flex Wheeler. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're getting coached by these legends, why, Ross Flannigan? How did you end up here? What did you do to get here? Right?
Really? I mean, every woman who's ever dated Ross, I wonder the same thing. How did you pick this one and end up right here in time? What problems, what mistakes did you make?
So anyways, it was a referral. So I coached his friend. His friend got into good shape and blah, blah, blah. So flash forward, that red flag dings, okay? This guy, and I've told the story before, he messages me, hey, coach, I'm on a road trip. I need more carbs. I'm going to go to Panda Express and get some white rice. I was like, you need white rice to drive a car.
You need more carbs.
So that was...
Did you make sure, because it's possible he had one of those Flintstone cars where the bottom's cut out? He was yabba dabba doing his way down the highway. You didn't ask these questions. Ross is an ineffective coach because he did not ask the proper questions to ascertain if his client needed more carbohydrates. You just shit on him for going to Panda Express.
All right, move on.
Anyway, I wanted to say usually the husband wife I try to split that. Usually I'll like refer the wife to another coach like Morgan Rice or somebody that's really good with females, and I try to like split that up. I have some husband wife couples that do good, but it's like sometimes it works in your favor where if, like one of them will help the other and it benefits, but sometimes it's like a weird schism where you just find yourself in the middle of like arguments and shit, and I don't like that.
So Elena and I both get coached by Dom, and we've never had an issue.
Yeah. Well, you guys, you know,
Plan, hey, I'm going to give Ross a refeed here. Like, go ahead and have one with him, sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that too, you know, with like the eating together and all that. But just sometimes it's like somebody's got a problem and you're in the middle. You know what I mean? It happens, and it's not. You know, you end up hearing about their whole fucking life. I have a couple. I have a guy named Jeremy. Him and his wife Nikki both work with me. They never really overlap it. It's super normal. They both make, you know, tons of progress. She's like dieting right now. He's growing right now. It's never been an issue. They're not texting me, can we have a cheat meal together? It never happens. And that's, you know, that's pretty abnormal. But usually I try to split that situation up if it goes south, just for, you know, obvious reasons. You find yourself in the middle of things. Anyway, shifting gears here. Huge with two great topics coming up. One, everybody's seen it, and it's like this is a topic that is fueled by 16-year-olds on the internet that need to know everything about every bodybuilder. They want to know what they're on, and there's this giant wave of bodybuilders that market themselves as I'm the only honest guy out here, and they say they're honest because they're telling these 16-year-old inquiring minds every fucking compound, how they're using it, what they're using, where the fuck they get it, their sponsor for gear that's some fucking, you know, wait, watch us, TRT clinic. We all know about these places where it's just like fucking gray market drug deals.
I got some belong from a TRT clinic.
Yeah, you got your trend from the TRT clinic. They mailed it to you and you never met them. you bought drugs legally. Yeah, sorry, it's just you know, there's a couple places that do that legitimately, but there's more places that do that in a very crooked way.
One of them just got busted like crazy. Alternative med something. There was like 30 locations or 13, something like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, so the topic that we're talking about is what do you gain from being super transparent online about every anabolic you use? Guys like me and Ross, if we're looking at your photos online, we know what the fuck is up. We don't have to ask. So your whole method, your whole communication is to people that don't know, that are unknowing, not in the industry. They're probably not using it themselves, because if they were, they wouldn't have to ask these questions. So, like, what is the benefit? Who wins? What do you get out of it by publicly talking? Oh, I use this. Oh, I use that.
I have no clue. I have no fucking clue.
They wear it like a badge of fucking honor.
I don't know what the fascination of it is. I mean, I don't. To be fair, I don't understand anything about this world. I don't understand why people, the bodybuilders, say sitting. They're sitting at 165. How did that start? What are you sitting down from? Like, what are you doing? Or the fascination with asking males their stats. Like, what's your height and weight?
That's like they want to compare.
Oh, I know John. He's 5'7", 185. Now I know.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's weird. It's just a very strange thing. I don't know. It's like you don't get any honesty points. Nobody wins.
So I have a feeling that whoever started this, I think it was Boston, that came out, you know, the publicity aspect of it.
That's different though. That's his fucking brand. That is a different aspect. And he was the first one to do it. And his brand is the crazy guy that was using all the shit and talking openly about it. But you know though, there's a disclaimer that comes with Boston where you're like, he's fucking doing it, but we talk to his clients, and I know they're not doing it like that. Right. He's the human experiment of his own self, and he makes that pretty fucking clear. He's not saying go, you know, put all the shit in your body. If I know clients of his, I've seen, you know, his protocols. They're not fucking super insane, super crazy. that's him. But you got guys that are like, oh yeah, I'm using this. This is exactly where I got it. I just want to be transparent here. Like, you're not fucking Donald Trump. You know, you're not this isn't a hearing. You don't need to open all your fucking bank accounts and show us your tax records. You're a guy on Instagram that's fucking bodybuilding. We should assume that you're using this shit. I love when they lie to us, honestly. Ronnie Coleman was all the time saying,
just the D-ball, the typical stuff,
Lee Priest, yeah, just use 100 milligrams of test prop. Yeah, test prop. That's all I use. Like, okay, please, I love it. I loved when they, because then people take that and they run with it. They're like, oh yeah, Leo.
Yeah, I don't like why the lying. Like, now you can look at Ronnie and he's a freak of nature, right? So he turned pro as a natural, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's definitely people out there that take what they say, and that what they say they take is very light. But I don't think that's the norm here. And I think, Boston pioneered this honesty and transparency with one goal and one purpose, and that purpose has transformed into now it being like cool. Like, it's cool to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't find any enjoyment or any coolness like talking about gear.
Do you know one thing I've noticed though? The people that talk the most about drugs always look the shittiest. They're always like fucking super skinny, super tall. They're like, they'll tell you every peptide. Oh, one common denominator. They all are on growth hormone. And then if you ask and inquire a little more, they're like, yeah, bro, generic. I pay $130 for a box of it. Like, it's not Phil Viz made a post about this the other day. It's not growth hormone. It's just not. It's the fucking the copay on a fucking Ceristim box is like fucking almost $400. You're not getting that from China for $130 shipped. It's just not happening. And none of these guys look like they're on it, so it's just not happening.
Yeah, and I'd be kind of embarrassed if I was like super open with my shit and
right?
I don't look good.
I want to lie. I'm like, no, well, not.
Does it look like I take stuff? I look like shit.
When I was competing, I never wanted to say I was, because I was like, man, I fucking suck. Yeah, I'd win my class, but I didn't want to be like, yeah, I'm on a bunch of gear, because I didn't look great. I wasn't fucking giant. But you got these guys that have like no fucking social awareness of what they actually have produced with it, and usually it's their first mechanism of getting better is, well, I got to change sources and use more. It's never my training sucks. It's never my fucking food intake isn't right. It's always, what can I do about the drugs? I get guys from Reddit steroids all the time, and I'm actually pretty fucking good at like speaking their language and just being blunt with them and being like, yo, yeah, your drug situation is fine and figured out. Everything else sucks. And I've got a ton of guys that like sucked and got really good because I refocused them. No, they're in this fucking world. They're on Reddit. They're on Instagram. They're in this fucking world of these guys that are doing the brutally honest talk about my drugs bullshit, and their minds are getting filled with it's all about the drug, all about the drug, all about the drug, and nobody's talking about the non-glamorous, non-fun, non-sexy training, doing going to bed when you're fucking supposed to go to bed, bringing your water around with you. It's not sexy.
Dude, it's so funny. It's so, how I am. I'm really into self-awareness.
Yeah.
And to be aware of yourself is the only way to progress. It's so funny. Back in the day, like maybe 5 years ago, I was exactly the person I preach not to be now. Like, obsess over the forums and, oh, you got to take this much at this time and it's got to be done this way, all this minutia. I wasn't eating a lot. I was training, okay. I was super inconsistent. My diet sucked. I was justifying all this cheat meals and Five Guys after every workout. And then literally I hired Dom. My whole mindset changes. Everything flip-flops. Like, all the emphasis is on the foundation, sleep, training, nutrition, over and over and over and over again. And other stuff is just icing on the cake. And then I just really progressed.
Yeah, it's the fucking sexy. It's the house. And they're worried about the fucking shingles on the roof, what color they are, and the fucking side paneling. It's like, you don't have a house, bro. What are you gonna do? Sleep in your fucking trailer. Yeah, sleep in your fucking paint for your deck? No, you're not, buddy. You don't have but like, You're right. It's not sexy at all. It's not sexy to talk about that. It's not fun. It's not fringe. It's not cool to be talking in the gym with your bros about what your meal prep looks like tonight. You're gonna talk about how I don't know. Also, why do people fucking inject in the locker room? That doesn't make
That's a
any.
thing.
Yes, I used to have a training partner. His name was Corey. Interesting guy, and he swore that he had to take his fucking injection in the locker room
After?
before.
Okay, that makes no sense. I would do it after because you got blood flowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would fucking go in, do that, bleed all over the fucking place, wipe it up, and be like, "All right, let's go. I'm ready." Every fucking day, every day, and I'd be like, "Wait, so like you have this in your car and you're traveling with it, and then you go to the gym, and like some old man with his fucking balls out would just be walking by, and I'm standing here with this goofy guy. He's fucking going his dull or going in his ass or something. It's just fucking weird, man."
That's because it's cool, man. It's cool.
Well, no, he didn't know any better. Somebody told him that's what you're supposed to do, and you got to do it before training, and that's what he believed, and that's what he did. Somebody told him, so he did it. Which is how most of this shit happens, honestly. Somebody says something, and then it's fucking absolute gospel. Absolute gospel.
A million stories of that.
Terrible. Well, we got about 20 minutes left of the podcast, so let's talk about a not relevant to bodybuilding really at all, but a common thread that we see in bodybuilding. There's a guy who was married to a girl, and he's a pro.
Fun.
You know who I'm talking about. He had a big fucking dramatic thing with that. Although on his side, he kept the drama low. I'm talking about Steve Kuklo. On his side, he handled it. No drama. Didn't post anything. His wife or ex-wife or whatever, I don't think she stopped posting. It's just a big fucking dramatic thing. But we're talking about infidelity in the bodybuilding world. Ross, take us away.
Well, let me pose a first question. Do you think it's synonymous with bodybuilding, or do you think it's just everyone's cheating, but it's just prevalent in bodybuilding?
I think in the bodybuilding world, we have a bunch of people that, because you meet these people, you know them. A lot of them fit the same mold. To be into bodybuilding, it's almost like you were fucking into video games or something where it's like the grind and the long term and the whatever. You have to be focused. People think meathead, they think like stupid jock. That's usually not it. The jocks get fat by the time they're 30. The nerds get fucking jacked and shredded once they find, mesorx.com or whatever the fuck it is. They figure it out. And so I think it's a lot of people that didn't have a lot of options before. They found something they loved. They actually started to become the person that they were. And, you didn't have any options before. There was maybe one girl that would say yes to you back then. Then, you get a little trend flowing. You start competing, whatever. You get a little juicier, fill out. You grow that jawline that you never had. And more than one woman is interested in you. And you have no idea what the fuck to do with it. Because before it was never an option, and now that it's an option, you're like, fuck, I'm used to always jumping on this when it comes, because, maybe you didn't have all that going on before, but now what do you do? What do you think, Russ?
What about cheating or?
I mean, in our industry, we see these glow-ups, of generally men that weren't much to look at before, and then, sorry, Snarfy, weren't much to look at before, and then they are now way more attractive than they prior were. And women can say up and down, I'm not attracted to that, I'm not attracted to that. I don't know. I always do this confessional story things, and it's always the fucking jacked shredded dudes that are talking about banging some other dude's wife in their car or in their house or in their bed or whatever. So it's not true. Nobody likes the dad bod. It's a settling.
Yeah, I don't know. I could talk about this. I think there's girls that actually. So I have a story. I was getting ready for the Sean Ray Classic.
Yep.
Okay. In 2015, the show we did, and about 4 weeks out, we went to the beach, and I was at this bar, like this outside bar. Wasn't drinking, and I heard these girls talking about me, and they were being so fucking rude. They were like, "He is so big, it's disgusting. That's gross." And all my friends heard it. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, imagine if I wasn't big and I was fat.
Well,
He is so fat, it's disgusting.
but that's the thing. They would never say that. It's like
Yeah, they wouldn't say that, but it was because I have muscles. Like,
they didn't mean it, though. They didn't. Ross, I'm here to tell you they didn't mean it. They were just the fact that they were talking about it. Women don't do that shit. They don't mention it. They just don't. They don't fucking mention it. They're talking about it because they're all thinking the same thing. They're like, I'd smash, and that's that.
that's
It's
not how
true.
I took it.
I think it's true.
Fuck this.
I think it's, Snarf, can you stop eating my shirt?
Um,
Trying to eat my shirt.
but I think with social media and the hormones, social media, all these girls posting like, risque stuff, and then they go to the shows. And
But
these
that's everywhere.
episodes-
Girls across the spectrum post their butt online, and it doesn't result in, fucking all the hook. There's a lot of cheating in the bodybuilding world, a fucking ton. We're confidants for a lot of our people, a lot of people that, I don't know, everybody tells me they're dirt for some reason, and my eyes are like this. It's damn. There's definitely good people, and I don't think anybody's just bad because they cheat on somebody or whatever. Everybody learns from that shit. I've cheated. You've cheated.
So I think with the males and the females, because the females are taking enhancements, their sex drive is going to be elevated. I don't think when you're in the beginning stages and you're starting to take that stuff, you don't know what's actually happening. Like,
Yeah, your mind's on a fucking train,
Right.
runaway train.
So
You don't-
now I know, like, okay, this is just the drugs talking. Like, that's why I'm looking at this woman that is 80 pounds overweight and she's 75, and I'm debating having sex with her. It's just the drugs. I know that I'm not going to do it.
I don't know about that. This is, by the way, disclaimer. This is Ross's personal experience being attracted to overweight grandmothers.
Dude, I tell this Elena all the time. She's like, you know what it's like? And she's like, what? I'm like, I justify in my brain looking at every female. And I'm like, what would I do? Would I do that? Yeah, I probably would. And then I'm off, and it's like, why would I? What the fuck? No. So back in the day when I was, starting, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was engaged. I cheated on this girl all the time. It was so bad. And I was one of these confessions things. The day I got a day, this is so fucked.
This is a terrible story. Tell it. What did you do the day you got the ring?
With her mom. I went with her mom to pick out the ring.
Engagement ring. He bought an engagement. What did you do the day of the engagement ring?
We celebrated with my friends, and I fucking cheated on her.
That's trend for you.
I was like, what the fuck? This is so bad.
I was a nasty piece of shit too. And part of it's probably just having to learn, but I never dated a ton when I was 16, 17, 18, and then I got into bodybuilding, and there were a ton more options. And I personally, I'm speaking from experience. I really didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, more than one attractive woman's into me. What the fuck do I do here? I was dating 3 of them at the same time. It wasn't good for anybody involved in that equation. It's a ton of stress. I see, like, I definitely know people that are doing the same thing I was doing back then, and I feel, I'm like, aren't you stressed? I was talking to a friend the other day. I'm like, aren't you really stressed about this? Like, how do you do? Valentine's Day was the worst day of my life. You had to start fights with 2 of them, and then take the one, and then take the one after Valentine's Day, and the one before. You had to fucking play this game of chess to even live your life. No, you go to the same store and buy the same thing 3 times, and somebody's like, "Why are you
just here?"
Yeah, no, you got 3 at the checkout. They're like, "Are you sisters or something?" No, leave me alone. Don't ask me any questions. Leave me alone. It's not.
Never here, by the way.
What'd you say?
I was never here.
I was never here. It's it's way too much. I'm like 31 now. Ross, how old are you?
I'm about to turn 31.
And I look back and I'm like, holy shit, I could have been doing so much more with my life, but so much of it was dedicated to fucking running around and lying to all these women and conning them and this one, that one, that one. And if you're doing this right now and listening to this, pull yourself out of the equation. How much fucking extra time would you have if you just focused on one of them and didn't have to have 2 fucking lives? How much are you risking right now?
Great point. I'm gonna end this conversation here.
Go.
With this topic. Do you know a guy named Elliot Hulse?
Yes.
Okay,
He's
a big
kind of crazy, but he's cool.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Big time YouTuber back in the day. And after I was like,
he used to be a fitness YouTuber, and now he's like a I would a masculinity YouTuber or something. He's like a spiritual dude now.
Weird dude.
A little strange, but whatever. I like him.
Anyways, so I was listening to him at the time, and I was like, cheating on this girl and all these other girls like all the time, and I knew I had to stop. And he was actually going through the same thing, where he was married and he was going through, like, he was about to do the dirty deed, and he said, "Is busting a nut worth ruining your life?" So guys, stop thinking with your dick for like 15 seconds. Just remember, your dick is controlling your thoughts right now. Take a step back. Is it worth ruining? Like, if you have a job or a house, you're going to risk everything for some girl that you met online 5 minutes ago?
And another thing that traps you in it, and I remember this being a thing for me. No relationship. Are you and Elena, are you always happy? Is everything always butter the whole fucking time? No, you have problems sometimes, right? You fight and argue.
Everything.
The problem, though, if you have all these options that are strung out on a line, you and Elena get into beef. The other options seem way nicer now because you're not beefing with them. And so you start comparing and you make these comparisons. Me and my girl fight sometimes. If there was another one that I could just go to whenever we're fighting, I would never patch these things up, and I would never improve my life situation with the one that I'm supposed to be with. Instead, I'd be out there fucking flying around with all the others. And you don't realize that this is happening while it's happening. You're in the middle of it and stuck, and you just see a better option. You're like, oh, less stress over here. Let me float and get a little closer to this one now. And then you start fighting with that one, which is inevitable because everybody's a human. You're going to fight, and you're going to come back to this one. And maybe there's a third one in the mix that sometimes gets a little airplay. When these two you're fighting, it's not any way that any human being should live. It's stressful as fuck. Damn, Ross. I can't believe that. Day you got the engagement ring. Huh?
Oh, it was bad.
What did you say?
I said, yeah, it was bad.
Damn.
But I mean, it didn't work out in the end, so.
What did you do with the engagement ring?
Oh, she said she would give it back, but then she just took it. I was like, whatever.
I don't blame her at all. She earned that, honestly. That was hers.
Did she earn it?
To do whatever she wanted to do with it, that was hers. I'm
not saying I don't agree with you, but I bought it.
Yeah, you deserve to lose it, my friend. You deserve to lose it. That's a big deal. An engagement ring is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. It's a little piece of gold and a gemstone, but I think it's a big deal. And that would hurt from her perspective. It's like
she doesn't know either.
Oh, I hope she doesn't watch this.
No, I haven't talked to her in 7 years.
You never know, bro. Sometimes those girls are just floating around. I got a call the other day.
She's remarried. I'm remarried. Or married.
Don't mean nothing, bro. I think the 4th of July, maybe, I got a phone call. Like, I haven't heard from this woman in 6 years. Why is she calling me? It's just, I don't know, man. You damaged that one, and she probably wakes up every morning, washes her face, says, "Fuck Ross Flannigan!" to the mirror, and then goes about her whole day. That is a pivotal moment in somebody's life when that happens. Because she figured it out. She figured it out.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. Damn.
What she thought the kicker was when she started getting suspicious. Guys, she's like, "You're doing a lot of cardio at the gym. Why are you doing so much cardio? Are you trying to get leaner? Why are you trying to get leaner?"
See, this is something I was talking to one of my close friends about today. Intuition, people say gut feeling, intuition. Women, ladies out there, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to blow this apart for you. Women, intuition, gut feeling, they're not these mythical thoughts. Your brain is smarter than you are, and your brain has figured it out and is trying to warn you of the inevitable shitstorm that's going to come. And it figured it out from real world things that you processed and didn't notice. Small things, super small things. The more in tune you become with that and the more you trust that, the less you're going to get run around on. Because there's small little things. You live with something.
Everything.
Yeah. I think about it. Anytime you were doing something dirty that you weren't supposed to be doing, Was there evidence? Was there ways they could have figured out? Was there little cues that had they been really paying attention, they would have figured it out? Was there?
Yeah.
Same for me. And, anytime these girls accused me of something, they were right on the fucking money. But, oh, no, okay. If you say no and they say, okay, fine. Trust your fucking intuition. Your gut has probably arrived there for a reason. Sometimes it's a false flag. Maybe some people are more paranoid than the others. But if you're smooth sailing and nothing's wrong, and then all of a sudden there's this huge feeling that something's wrong, your brain put it together for you. And you need to listen to that shit. Because your brain already did the fucking hard work. It's just trying to get the fucking meat flesh bag attached to it to actually do something about it. So do something.
That's our DNA. It's in our DNA.
Literally, it's like survival. It's like, damn, this fucker's, he's out there. He's fucking somebody else. I know it. Like, damn, look through his phone. That's what it's saying. And you're, oh, God.
Yeah. And if they try to look at your phone, or if you try to look at their phone and they slap you away, come on, they're hiding something.
I mean, I don't, I'm not like super fond of my privacy being invaded. But if my girl came to me with hey, I really think there's something up with specifics, not a fishing expert, specifics. This girl, this thing doesn't sit right with me. Okay, there you go. I got nothing to hide. If I did have something to hide, I'd be saying no, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did. And every cheater couches it in the same thing. Why you gotta look through my phone? Why don't you trust me? If they're throwing shit back at you, they're full of shit. They are full of shit. They're full of shit, guys. They're full of shit. And I mean, women, they're saying, talking a lot of trash, men doing it. Women do the same. They're, in some ways, way better than us at it. I've seen some savagery from some women in my time. Some absolute savagery. When chicks do it, they can do it on like a, if we're fucking a mom and pop store, they're goddamn Costco about the way that they can cheat and pull human beings into this equation. If we got 3, they can have 15 and keep it up, they keep it up. It's a crazy situation to see. I've seen that before, Ross. I feel like this girl, she was pretty shameless about it and didn't give a fuck, and I wasn't involved with her, but she was like, yeah, I got all these dudes that I cheat on my man with. Good for you. I said, how do you keep them all, interested? And he's like, if I want to talk to them, I say hello, and they reply. Yeah. Girls aren't that thing. We have to put something on the hook for them to stick around a little bit and actually interact with them. So you'll see guys that are doing cheating with one other, or you usually don't even see like more than one unless they're a total fucking sociopath. But damn, that's rough. That's a rough topic, Don. Ross, that's a rough topic.
Closing thoughts here, John?
Closing thoughts. On a more serious note, do your due diligence when you're hiring somebody. You work really fucking hard for your money. Go find somebody that respects that, somebody that you respect, somebody that has a track record, a history, isn't just posting photos of themselves, isn't always posting a fucking sale, a discount this, or whatever. And pick somebody you like too, because that's an equation. That's don't, if there's 2 coaches that are comparable, one's maybe a little better, one's maybe not as prestigious, but you really like that personality, you're probably going to go farther with that guy. If you're fucking cheating, maybe you should clean up your act. That's my closing thought. Clean up your fucking act. I used to do it. Ross used to do it. I live in a world of way less stress and way more harmony because there's only one woman that I have to keep track of in my life. And that's powerful. That's real powerful. Ross, closing thoughts. You got 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes for closing thoughts. If you're cheating on someone, that means you're not happy. So, and if you're cheating on your diet, that means you're not happy either. If you're cheating on your coach, that means you're not happy either. So, don't fucking cheat.
Don't cheat. Don't cheat. And one addition to what you said, if you're cheating on somebody, it doesn't always mean you're unhappy with them. Maybe you're just unhappy with yourself, and grow a little and figure it the fuck out. And you know what I mean? True. Was there anything wrong with the women you cheated on, Ross? Absolutely not. They were probably fine.
Oh, some of my regret for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but the engagement one, you bought her an engagement ring. There was nothing wrong with her. You were a fuck up.
No, we were wrong together. We weren't.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with her. You were just a fuck
No.
up. You weren't ready for the thing. That's usually how it is. It's not the woman that's the issue. It's just the guy doesn't like himself, or the cheater. Let's say the cheater doesn't like himself. Anyway, guys, it's been a good one. Episode 2 with Ross and Goob. I'm gonna post this on YouTube, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See you.